Hi everybody, I am Dr. D.S. Thore. Now I share the screen of today's lecture in front of you. Please wait. Welcome to the fifth lecture of course number at 365, that is diseases of field and horticultural crops and their management. Second, okay. So in today's lecture, we discuss about wilt disease of field and vegetable crops. Okay. So in your last semester, we already discussed about which type of the symptoms produced by fusarium in respective crops. So, okay, so already studied these symptoms. Then other information, that is a perpetuation, etiology and other management practices already seen in your last semester, that is semester number 5th. Title of this course, that is diseases of field and horticultural crops and their management first. Okay, so in today's lecture we discuss about wilt disease seen in field crops, especially sugarcane and cotton. Then pulse crop, that is chickpea, pea, lentil, and vegetable crops, that is cooker beets and coriander. Okay, so we'll talk sugarcane caused by Cephalovorus. Sorry. Cephalosporium saccharine. Okay, so first one disease seen in sugarcane caused by Cephalosporium saccharine and produces the wilt disease. Then wilt of cotton, Fusarium oxysporum, form of species Vasinpectum. Then chickpea, Fusarium oxysporum, form of species Caesari. P. Fusarium oxysporum, form of species PC. Then lentil, Fusarium oxysporum, form of species lentis. Cucurbits, Fusarium oxysporum, form of species Nivum. And last one, wilt of coriander caused by Fusarium oxysporum, form of species coriander. Okay, so causal organism is same, that is Fusarium oxysporum. Just to change the pharma species in respective crops. Okay, so this is the number of crops suffer and produces the wilt disease. Okay, so before actual seen the wilt disease in different field crops, so you know about the basic information about the wilt diseases, means which type of the symptoms are produced by this fusarium, then which organism is responsible to produce the disease in particularly field crops and vegetable crops, means name of that causal organism is known for you. Then what is the etiology about the Fusarium oxysporum? Then perpetuation means you know about the primary source of infection and secondary source of infection. And last one, you know about the which management practices done by the everyone farmers to avoid such type of the infection seen in the different crops. Okay, so you just seen the basic information about the wilt disease. Okay, so these wilt pathogens seen at the seedling stage as well as well developed or mature plants, means this wilt symptom generally seen at the all the stages of the or all the growth stages of the plant. Especially this type of the symptoms may be seen at the seedling stage and well developed plants, means at the time of the flowering or at the time of the pot development stage, this pathogen attack to this particular crop and develop the symptoms. Okay, means these pathogens attack to respect to crops, so develop the symptoms on plants. Means these symptoms generally seen on the external parts of the plants and some internal parts of the respective plants. Okay, means these wilted plants is seen in respective patches in particularly fields, and these patches having the different plants are totally wilted. So this is the basic criteria to identify the wilt disease in respective crops. Means mortality of the respective plants or seedlings at a celly or specific site of the fields. Okay, so you see the individual wilted plants. So these wilted plants having the some of the leaf. Okay, so these leaves are totally yellow in color, and these wilted means these yellowing leaves is suddenly defoliated from these wilted plants. So this is the basic symptom or this major symptom seen on that individual wilted plants, that is yellowing and drying of the leaf. Okay, then these plants having the turzidity, so this turzidity level is totally lost or lost the turzidity level due to the shortage of the water, because this pathogen is mainly penetrates through these root systems. Means already this chlamydospores is present in the soil, and these chlamydospores directly attack to growing root portion of particularly plants. Means actual entry of this pathogen in roots in plants via roots. Okay, so these spores directly attack to germinating means developing root systems. So these pathogens just move in the upward directions, means systemic inside these root systems, and finally reach to these stem portions. So this stem portion having the xylem and phloem cells are present. Generally these phloem cells or whole of this phloem cells, that is translocate the carbohydrate material from top portion to the downward direction or downward portion of this plant. This is the actual role of the phloem. And xylem, that is a translocation of the water or translocate or transmit this water or translocate this water from root system up to the top of these plants. Okay, so this is the actual role of the xylem and phloem cells. Okay, so these xylem and phloem cells generally present inside the root portions or inside the stem portion. So these two cells, xylem and phloem cells or cortex cells, is totally attacked by these pathogens. Means these xylem and phloem cells is totally disturbed. So do not translocate the water and carbohydrate material from one place to the another place. So in this way, the turzidity level is developed in particularly infected plants. So these turzidity plants having the some branches and leaves, so these leaves and branches just drip off from these plants. Okay, so this finally individual plants is totally dry and wilted in appearance. So this is the basic external symptoms seen on the plants. Okay, so these wilted plants is uproot from this field or that location. So you see this root system and stem portions. Okay, so these roots and stem is totally black in color or brown in color. Means outer portion of the roots or shrinkage the root portions. So this is the basic symptoms seen on the root portions. Okay, shrinkage the root systems. Okay, so such roots or stems is cut and take the cross section of these roots and stems and see these inner side of the or inner portion of the stem or root portions. So these vascular bundle cells having these xylem and phloem cells is a totally brown or black in colors. Okay, so this is the internal symptoms seen inside the infected roots or stem because this pathogen generally penetrate via root system and just to move in the upward directions and finally reach to these stem portions. Okay, means these xylem and phloem cells is a totally discolored, maybe brown in color or maybe black in colors. Okay, so this is the internal symptoms seen. Okay, so these both type of the symptom generally seen on the individual plant caused due to the fusarium and produces the wilt pathogens. Okay, so this is the basic symptom seen in every crops caused due to the fusarium. Okay, then causal organism. Okay, so this Fusarium oxysporum, this is the basic pathogen, means these pathogens is mainly responsible to produce the disease, that is a wilt disease in respective crops, just to change the pharma species. Okay, then what is the actual morphological characteristics of this Fusarium oxysporums? Okay, so this Fusarium oxysporum pathogen reproduced by asexual method by forming the asexual spore fruit, that is the Sporodocia asexual spore fruits. Okay, so just you see these Sporodocia fruiting bodies. Okay, so this is the Sporodocia fruiting body having the spores and spore bearing hyphae are produced. Okay, so this is the spore bearing hyphae. So at the tip of the spore bearing hyphae, generally spores are produced. So in this case, two type of the conidia is produced or two type of the spores are produced. One is the macroconidia and another is the microconidia. Okay, so this is the microconidia having the just a spherical in shape or no any cross wall is present, means a septed spherical haline conidia is produced, that spores is known as the microconidia, and this microconidia is always smaller than this macroconidia. Okay, then macroconidia, so this macroconidia is larger than this microconidia, and this macroconidia is septed having the near about 3 to 10 septa is present within this macroconidia. This is the 1, 2, 3. So in this way, number of the septa is present in single macroconidia. Then this macroconidia having the typical shape, that is a falcate shape. Means falcate type of the conidia is produced in this Sporodocia. Okay, means falcate shape means this both the end of this conidia is tapered and middle portion become bulbous. Okay, so this shape is known as the falcate shape. Means this Fusarium pathogen reproduced by asexually method and form the Sporodocia. So inside the Sporodocia fruiting body, spore bearing hyphae and macroconidia and microconidia generally produced. Means the primary infection takes place through infected plant parts. So before that, means actually this conidia is produced inside the root system or inside the stem systems or external parts of the infected plants. So this conidia disseminated from this portion to other plants. Means secondary spread of the disease mainly takes place through this macroconidia and microconidia, spread through various agencies. For example, this conidia is disseminated through soil or irrigation water or foot of the animals, because this conidia generally attach or just stick to the foot of the animal. So in this way, this conidia is disseminated to the other place or other field or other plants. Okay, means secondary infection generally takes place through macroconidia and microconidia. Then what is the primary source of infection in regarding the wild pathogen? That is this spores, and this spores is known as the chlamydospores. Chlamydospores means modification of the mycelia to withstand under the unfavorable conditions. Means in the absence of the host crop, this mycelia develop and produce the chlamydospores. Chlamydospores is a vegetative spores. So this vegetative chlamydospores produced at the intercalary or middle, means intercalary or terminally on the old mycelia. So this is the Solon cells is produced on the old mycelia, having the reserve food materials to be stored. Okay, so this chlamydospores is present in the soil. Okay, means after harvest, some of the crop residues, debris in the soil. So in this way, chlamydospores is remain present in the soil. This primary infection is takes place through chlamydospore present in soil or infected plant parts, debris in the soil, or the seeds generally collect from these infected plants, and these seeds is used for sowing purpose. So 100% disease is produced. Means primary infection takes place through infected seeds, infected plant part, debris in soil, or this chlamydospore present in the soil. Okay, so in this way, disease cycle to be completed. Okay, then okay, so this is the disease cycle, means this is the infected plants. So these infected plants produce the pods, and these pods are any means these seeds. So these infected seeds is used for sowing purpose in the next year, in particularly track or field. So these seeds having the mycelia, or this mycelia is already present inside these seeds, and these seeds may be used for sowing purpose. So 100% this is produced. Means this after germination of these seeds, this mycelia directly penetrate to these root portions. Okay, or this infected plant part, debris in the soil, means these vegetative chlamydospores are present, and these spores become germinate under the favorable conditions and directly attack to these developing root systems. Means these spores directly penetrates to these roots. Means during intercultural operations or any wounds created by the insect to particularly root portions. So these spores, that is the chlamydospores, directly penetrates or actually enters in these plants through this root portion. So in this way, this pathogen just move in upward directions, means from root portion to these stem portions. So these stems having these some of the leaf or some of the branches. So these stems having the leaf or branches to be dries, means these leaf generally yellowing, or this yellowing leaf generally defoliated, because these pathogens actually present inside these root systems or plant stem systems. Means this mycelial network is present inside the root systems, means this mycelia plug the xylem and phloem cells. So due to the disturb the xylem and phloem cells, these totally block or these vascular bundle cells. So this water, so this water is uptake through root system and just translocated to these portions through xylem cells. Okay, and this carbohydrate materials is just translocated from this place to this place. So this working of the xylem and phloem cells is totally stopped because this mycelia is already plugged or blockage the vascular bundle system, means phloem and xylem cells. Okay, so in this way the these infected plants maintain the toxicity level, and finally this plant is wilted. Okay, so these wilted plants or these stem or roots having the mycelia or spores is produced, and these spores, that is a macroponidia and microponidia, spread from this plant to the healthy one plants via irrigation water or this soil is transport from this place to the another place. Okay, so in this way complete the disease cycle of particularly wild pathogens. Okay, then what is the control measures against these wild pathogens? For example, some cultural methods, field sanitations, means collect and burning the affected plant parts, or just locate the wilted plants and uproot from these plates fields. Then deep summer plowing, because these chlamydospores is survival for number of years, means near about 6 to 8 years. These chlamydospores or this mycelia become persist in soils, means to break down the chain of these spores by plowing this land in summer months. Then select the seeds, disease-free seeds, because the primary infection takes place through the infected seeds. Then rotate the crop. Already I told these spores is survival for more than 5 years or more than 6 years. So this crop is rotated with the other non-host crop, or soil solarization technique to be followed, because these spores is present in soil. So eradicate the spores present in soil by adopting the soil solarization technique. This technique is mainly used in nursery bed areas. Okay, this is the cultural methods. Then seed treatment, because to protect the seeds, means the primary infection takes place to the seeds. So these seeds, means before the actual sowing of the seeds in the main fields. So these seeds generally treated with the fungicides and some bioagents, means carbendazim at the rate of 0.2% or captain thyram at the rate of 0.2%. Then bioagent, for example, trichoderma at the rate of 6 gram per kg of seed, or pseudomonas at the rate of 10 gram per kg of seeds. Means in this way to protect the seed from fusarium by applying the fungicide and biological methods. Then soil applications, because this spores is already present in soil. So retard on inhibit the growth of the fusarium present in soil by application of the trichoderma 2 to 3 kg. This powder 2 to 3 kg powder of the trichoderma mixed in 50 kg of the FYM, and this FYM with trichoderma powder is broadcast over this field before the sowing operations. Then growing resistant varieties, in particularly crops. Okay, so this is the some cultural seed treatment and soil application or resistant method generally used to control the wilt disease in the different field crop as well as the vegetable crops. Okay, so this is the basic information about the wilt disease. Okay, then we actual seen the one by one disease, that is wilt disease in particularly crops. So first of all, wilt disease of sugarcane. Okay, so this is the different symptoms seen in the youngest seedlings of the sugarcane as well as the well-developed sugarcane plants. Means initially these wilt symptoms seen 4 to 5 months old plants. So these infected plants having the leaf is totally dries, and this infected plant cannot produce the mature cane. Means this seedling is totally dies and wilted. Okay, so this is the symptom generally seen in the seedling of the sugarcane. Just early development of the pathogens to particularly younger plants of the sugar canes. Then this this is the mature plants, means this pathogen develop the symptoms inside this cane portions. So this cane having the pithy tissue. So this pithy tissue is totally red in colors, means reddening the pithy tissue generally seen inside these infected canes. Means initially just reddish pithy tissue is seen. So this reddish pithy tissue increases in upward directions, means this pathogen just grows from this place to these portions. So in this way, spread the disease inside the whole sugarcane plants. So this sugarcane plant having the leaf is totally dry. So this plant is totally dries and wilts. And this reddening strips generally seen inside the pithy tissue. Normally the pithy tissue are creamy white in color, but infected fusarium or fusarium infected pithy tissue become red in color, and this red color uh, stripes generally seen inside this mature cane. Okay, so in this way retard the quality of the juice and also reduce the yield of particularly sugarcane field per hectares. Okay, then causal organism Cephalosporium saccharine, then etiology. So in this case, this Cephalosporium saccharine reproduce the asexual spores that is known as the conidia. Okay, means primary infection takes place through infected sets, because already this fusarium present inside the sugarcane plants, and this sugarcane plant is used for planting purpose, means to make the small pieces of particularly infected sugarcane plants. Okay, and this infected sets is used for uh, planting purpose, so 100% disease is produced. Means this disease is a soil-borne as well as set-borne disease, and secondary infection generally takes place through this conidia. Means suppose any injury creates to particularly cane portion during the intercultural operations. So this is the easily avenues to penetrate the conidia to these plants, or stem or shoot borer problem seen in particularly sugarcane fields. So this possibility is also initiate the wilt disease in sugar canes. Then this is the control measures. Already I explained very well about the cultural management, biological management, and resistant varieties in particularly crops. In regarding the sugar canes sets treatment, because this primary infection takes place through the infected sets is used for planting purpose. So these sets are treated with the moist heat aerated steams or these hot water treatments having the temperature is near about 54 degrees Celsius for 150 minutes, or these sugarcane sets deep in the fungicide solutions, that is just to prepare the carbon enzyme solutions, and then dip these sugar canes for sets for 10 to 15 minutes. Then soil application of the quinol phos at the rate of 1.5 kg per hectare, means 30 kg per hectares. So this quinol phos insecticides to control the shoot borer as well as stem borer problems seen in the sugar canes. Then this prior to sowing seeds should be dipped in 40 ppm of the boron or magnesiums. Then rotun practices should be discolored because this wilt disease majorly seen in the rotun crops. So avoid or discourage the rotten practices. Then crops should not be grown in alkaline soil having the pH more than 7. Then resistant variety generally grown. Okay, so this is the information about the wilt disease of the sugarcane. Then vascular wilt of cotton. So this is the individual plants showing the wilting appearance, having the leaf is totally yellow, or these leaves are dry in natures. Before the drying of this leaf is just somewhat these symptoms are produced. Means lose the turgidity level of this producing leaf. Means margin of the leaf generally curved or maybe crinkled. So this type of the symptoms is seen. Means maintain the turgidity level in these plants. So in this way, this plant is totally dries. Then see this vascular bundle cells. So this xylem and phloem cells is a totally black in color or somewhat is a brown in color. Means this brown discoloration is generally seen vertically inside this infected stem portion as well as the root portions. Okay. Then this is the morphological structure of the macroconidia and microconidia. Okay, so this is the microconidia having the spherical body or without septa is present. Means this microconidia is smaller than this macroconidia, and this is the macroconidia having the three septa is present, and this conidia is in somehow this falcate cell. Okay, and this is the just chlamydospores is present. Okay, then, so this is the disease cycle of the vascular wilt of the cottons. Means this is the infected plants, debris in the soils. So these vegetative spores is present. So this vegetative spores directly infect to this root portion of the growing plants. So this root portion is totally infected, and this mycelia just grows inside this stem portion. So this xylem and phloem cells is totally blocked in nature. So this gummy, some of these tyler formations or gum-like substance is secreted inside this stem portion. So that's why this totally this petri tissue and cortex cells is blocked. So that's why these stop the translocation of the water and carbohydrate material from one place to the another place. And this is the macroconidia and microconidia just disseminated from this infected plants to this another healthy one plants. Okay, so in this way spread the disease from one plant to the another plant through macroconidia and microconidia. Okay, then this is primary source and already secondary source. Then control measures, already I explained these control measures against these wilt pathogens. Uh, then this treat the cotton seeds with the carboxyl or chlorothalonil at the 4 gram per kg or carbendazole at the rate of 2 gram per kg of seed, because these mycelia generally present inside these seeds, and these seeds may be used for sowing purpose. So 100% disease is produced, means these seeds is protect from this fungal infection by treating with these fungicides. Okay, then growing resistant variety, that is Varalakshmi, Vijaya, Pratap, Mahadar, Jarila, Jyoti, Varun. So this is the resistant variety grown by the farmers against these wilt pathogens seen in the cotton. Then wilt of chickpea. So this is the number of the plants is wilted, means wilted plants seen in particularly patches in particularly these fields. Okay, so number of the plants generally wilted and dries. So this is the individual plants to be infect and showing the drying in nature, and this is the internal stem portion and root portion of the chickpea having the brownish discoloration of the cells are seen, means these vascular bundle cells is totally black in color, having the brownish or maybe black in colors. But here this brownish discoloration is seen inside this root portion as well as stem portion of the chickpea. Okay, then this is the root portion of the healthy one plant. So this is the normal root systems are seen. But in regarding the wilted plants, you see this root system of particularly plant. So this root system is a shrinkage and somewhat brown or black in colors. Okay, so this is the cross section area of these stem portions, means xylem and phloem cells is totally blocked. So this is the mycelial network is present inside the xylem and phloem cells. Okay, means in this case some of the tylose and some of the gum and mucilaginous substance secrete by these pathogens. So these pathogens is totally blocked these vascular bundle cells. Okay, then this is the morphological characteristics of this Fusarium oxysporum pharmaceus species, Siceri. That is a perfect stage of this Fusarium, that is a Gibberella and Nectaria. Means in this case, maybe sexual spores are produced. Okay, so this is the vegetative spores, chlamydospores. This is the microconidia and this is the macroconidia, and this is the Sporodocia fruiting bodies. Okay, so this is the microconidia, macroconidia, and chlamydospores. So this is the just um, spores or structure of the spores seen in particularly culture of the fusariums. Already explained this disease cycle of the fusarium in chickpea. Then perpetuation, chlamydospores, then seed, then infected plant pass debris in the soil, and secondary infection, macroconidia and microconidia spread through irrigation water and agricultural implements. Then management, that is a cultural management, already discussed about these management practices. Select the seeds from disease trees, then grow pulse crop as an intercrop or mixed with the cereals crop like sorghums. Okay, these sorghum plants generally intercropped with chickpea in particularly Marathwada region and Vidarbha region, because roots of these sorghum plants secrete the HCN chemicals. Okay, so this HCN chemical secreted by this root of these sorghums. So finally, retard the or inhibit the spores of the fusarium. Means due to the HCN inhibit or suppress the growth of the fusarium. So that's why this is the basic principle for growing the sorghum as an intercrop in between the chickpea or gram plants. Then rotate this pulse crop with sorghum, tobacco or castor every 3 years because these fusariums spores maybe survival in soil is near about 6 and or about the 6 years. Then soil solarization technique. So this is the deep summer plowing practices should be done. Then this is the soil solarization technique. Then seed treatment by using the fungicide, that is a carboxyl, means carbon enzymes or trichoderma viride. Okay, so this is the just a seed treatment is means fungicides and some biological agents is applied over these seeds of particularly grams to protect the seed from the fungal infections. Then this is the resistant varieties. These Virat, Vishal, then Fule, Digvijay, BDNG. Okay, so these Virat, Vishal, this variety developed by the NPKV Rahul. Then this BDNG 2010-1, BDNG 806. This variety developed uh, in Badnapur Agriculture Research Station under the VNMKV Parbhani. Then this PKV Kabuli 2, this variety developed um, in Akola Agriculture University. Okay, so this is the resistant variety grown against this wilt of chickpea. Then wilt of pea. Okay, so this is the wilted plants are seen. So this is the individual plants having the leaf is totally dries. Okay, so this dries leaf is defoliated from these pea plants. Means this infection or generally or this symptom generally seen at the time of the flowering or at the time of the pod developments. Means most evident symptoms, that is dwarfing and yellowing of the foliage and curling of the leaf and leaflets. So this symptom majorly seems, and this is the vascular bundle cells is totally blocked. Okay, means these plants, wilted plants may die quickly or remain partially alive during the entire season, depends upon the inoculum load of these pathogens. Okay, so these infected plants develop the pods or may not be develop the pods. Suppose this infection just seen in early growth stage of these pea plants, so these plants cannot develop the pods. Okay, then causal organism, Fusarium oxysporum, pharma species PC. Then etiology, that is Macroconidia and Microconidia produced inside the Sporodochia. Means primary infection, that is seeds, infected seeds and some crop residues, debris in the soil. And secondary infection, that is Macroconidia and Microconidia. Then control measures is same hot to other crops already seeds. Then wilt up linseeds. So this is the most important disease seen in also uh, linseeds. Okay, sorry, these lentil crops means these symptom generally seen at the time of the flowering or pod filling stage. So most evident symptoms, that is wilting of the top leaves due to the water deficit conditions or these plants is stunting in nature or shrinkage or maybe curling of the leaf generally takes place are seen in this individual wilted plants. Okay, our root system of this plant is totally brown in colors. Our tap roots is totally brownish in colors. Okay, so this is the symptom generally seen in the lentil crops. Then causal organism, Physarum of the sporum pharma species, lentis. Etiology is the same. Then perpetuation is also same. In presence of the nematodes, because these nematodes generally attack or feed to root of particularly lentil crops. So artificial injury is created to root system of the lentil. So that's why these microponidia and macroponidia or vegetative spores is actually penetrates within these plants by artificially injury is created by these nematodes. So this is the macroponidia and microponidia. Then control measures, it's same. Then wilt up cucurbits. So this is the wilted cucurbits plants. For example, these watermelon plants. Okay, so these watermelon plants having the some leaf is dry in natures. Okay, means these watermelon plants are attacked at all the stages of the growth. Means these pathogens attack to younger seedlings. So these some of the damping of symptoms or these infection generally seen on the cotyledon portion of these plants, and these younger seedlings is totally wilted and dies. Okay, then in older plants, so these older plants is weed quickly or rapidly within 10 days after the symptoms is seen in particularly plants. So inside the wilted stems, the vascular tissue is discolored, having the brownish in colors. Okay, or in under moist condition, somewhat these white or pinkish fungal growth is seen on this uh, dead stem or inside the stem portions. Okay, so this is the fruits of the pumpkins. So whitish or somewhat the grayish whitish mass seen on the outer surface of the fruits produced from the infected pumpkin plants. Okay, so this is the plants of the cucumbers. So leaf of the cucumber generally yellow in colors, or this leaf and some tender shoots just shrinkage due to the shortage of the water in cucumbers. Then this is the field of the muskmelon. So these muskmelon plants is totally dries and remain only the fruits. And these fruits having also the whitish or grayish mass are seen. Okay. Then causal organism, Fusarium oxysporum forma species in new bomb. Etiology, perpetuation is same. So this is the macroponidia, microponidia, and this is the vegetative spores, that is the chlamydospores. Control measures is somewhat same. That is a good water drainage should be provided to minimize the secondary spore formation, because this macroponidia and microponidia generally spread uh, or float on the surface of the waters from one place to the another place. Means in this case, you can apply the drip irrigation systems for apply the irrigation to particularly any cucurbitaceous crops. Then resistant variety, crimson sweet, early resistant queen, hairbox, then sunset, summit, white hope. So this somewhat resist against these wilt disease seen in the all the cucurbitaceous crops. In cucurbitaceous crop, all the muskmelon crops and all the gourds crops, then cucumbers, melon crops. So these crops comes under the category of the cucurbitaceae. Then last one, that is a wilt of coriander. So this wilt of corianders also showing the wilting symptoms, means basal side of the leaf is totally dries. So in this way whole plants to be dies. Means somewhat these pre-emergence and post-emergence symptoms are seen by these fusariums. So gradually these symptoms get extend up to this apical portion of these plants. Okay, so in this way whole plants to be dries and wilts, and these affected plants is remain stunted and bear or may not be bear the flowers and seeds, etc. Okay, then causal organism, Physarum of this foreign pharma species, that is coriandrin, that is etiology, perpetuation is same. Then control measures is the same, that is a resistant variety MP5365 UD373. So this variety grown of the coriander respectively against these wilted disease or fusarium. Then addition of the oil cakes in soil and raising of soil pH to 8.2 is also found effective in reducing the disease incidence. Means these wilt pathogens, that is fusariums, may be initiated in some soil factors. Suppose water holding capacity or water holding or maximum moisture is present around the root portion of particularly plant. So 100% fusarium pathogen is initiated. Means some climatic factor and some soil factor is initiate the wilt disease in particularly crops. Means some wilt disease majorly seen in alkaline soil, or some fusarium produces symptoms in also acidic soils. Depends upon the soil conditions and crop. Okay, so in this case, these corianders cultivate in acidic soil, so 100% this is the produce. So increase the soil pH is near about neutral or near about 7 to 8. So avoid the fusarium infection to particularly corianders. Okay, so this is the basic information about, and particularly brief information about the wilt pathogens or wilt disease in seen in particularly field crops and vegetable crops. Okay, any doubt? So ask me personally or just send the SMS on my WhatsApp number. Okay, now I stop the today's lecture